During the stream, by the way, I think, or even before it, Ralph accidentally showed his internet history, and in that internet history, he showed that he has been searching things related to STDs and gonorrhea. Doctoralia, find a specialist. Sexual health clinic Merida. STI Dr. Merida who speaks English. Ways to handle chlamydia in Merida. And then down here, gonorrhea medicine. Amazon.com, my orders. And Dr. Alonso, gynecologist. The clap. Andy Worski in a dress. STI doctor. STI HIV test. Gonorrhea medicine. So this guy has a leaky gangrenous venus. The only other person I knew who had gonorrhea was Chantal's Arab boyfriend. And she said it was swole up like a golf ball and it leaked green pus. So that's what's going on with the little hoglet right now. And he's trying to get this fixed. And what's really weird about this is the timing of the information about how Ariana Vickers, Mr. Vickers' wife or ex-wife, had an STI. And it was in the one of the lawsuits or something. Or no, it was in a restraining order complaint that I read, where someone was complaining that in their polycule, Ariana said that she was testing all her male friends that were fucking her for STDs, but then I guess they caught an STD. So it's like, did Ralph get chlamydia or give chlamydia to Ariana Vickers, and now there's like a Ralph male gene line lineage of gonorrhea in California right now because Ralph fucked Mr. Vickers' wife? Like that, there is a non-zero chance that that's happening. In part because, by the way, Ralph had this 3-hour-long conversation with Jesse, who does the Pod Awful podcast, which, if you don't know, is a podcast that was originally dedicated to A-logging Dick Masterson. I listened to this entire fucking video, and I came away with these notes, which I will simply read you. I broke them down into who they're talking about. Jesse. Remember when I was surprised that Jesse does not irritate me as much as I thought he would? Jesse is pretending that this show is for Ralph's own good, even though he's leaking intimate phone calls with him, which is bullshit. He shit on Cog, which made me laugh. Jesse said that I'm totally apolitical, except I believe you should be killed. You should be allowed to kill women if you want, and Ralph agrees. Ralph gets so fucked up during this call that at the 2-hour mark, Ralph says something about Jesse, but he's talking about Jesse in the third person. And then he says, I'm talking to Jesse right now, as if he's like half asleep. He thinks he's on a live stream that he's producing. He's talking to an audience about Jesse, who he's replying to. And then he realizes in his head that he's talking to Jesse, but he's actually still kind of like out of it. And he thinks like, oh, he's on my show. And it's like, no, you're having a private phone call. So he can't even have like phone calls anymore because he's so fucked up on Xanny berries. By the way, this was 1 week after he got out of rehab. He didn't stay sober outside of inpatient for 1 week. He was already fucked up talking to Jesse, obviously high on Xanax or something, as he got out. The one thing that I learned in this that I really didn't know was that when May tried to leave Mexico, she actually told Ralph that she was leaving Mexico before she left, which is in line for the horse being the dumbest fucking bitch that's ever fucking lived. So Ralph called the police, La Policia, and they showed up at the airport to try and prevent her from leaving. But Ralph was outside the country. So from the Mexican perspective, you have a woman who's leaving the country to the country that they're both citizens of, and the parent protesting this, who is a resident of Mexico, I guess they have laws preventing this, is outside the U.S. himself. So only because she waited to stick the knife in him. If she had tried to leave at any other time, I guess he could have just had her legally detained at the airport by the police. But because she waited, and this is pure dumb luck on her part, assuredly, because she waited until he was back in the United States, they had no legal reason to detain her from leaving the country herself. So she got out. But I did not know. That's a really dramatic story. That's like a fucking movie. Oh, by the way, he talks about Xander on and on, but he never even mentions Rosie. Never once. Not once in the entire 3-hour call does he ever say the name Rosie by name directly. He complained about Dick Masterson phoning in all of his appearances. He called Vito a pedophile repeatedly, and then also had repeatedly said that Vito was not a pedophile. So as he got more intoxicated, Vito became more of a pedophile. He says that he's done cocaine with Marie, who is Dick's long-term girlfriend, never wife. It says that when they did a event together, Mersch got paid $1,000 and Ralph got paid nothing, which made him very jealous and very angry to this day. He says that Dick always keeps him at arm's length and they never have real conversations. He never lets his guard down. Dick struck down a bunch of videos that made him look like a pedophile. I don't actually know what that's about, but apparently he did. Jesse basically called Ralph a fat retard and said that Vito was Ralph's fat retard replacement once Ralph lost weight, which is a dumb theory, to be quite honest, but it was kind of funny that he said that to his face. Ralph brought up a theory that Vito is Marie's child's real father, which I had never heard before, and he brought it up, and he seems to know them, so who knows at this point. Maybe he really is fucking Ariana, and also Vito is the father. Can't wait for that kid to be born. Ralph says that he's more entertaining than Dick and says that he's better than those people, and I kind of agree that he's more entertaining, though better is very subjective. Ralph says that he's seen Marie's pussy, and I think that's because she used to be a cam girl, but those videos were scrubbed. I've never seen any nudes of her. So Jesse, this was a very interesting part. Jesse compared Dick to iDubbbz and said that Dick is with a cam girl, so therefore he's a cuckold in the same way that iDubbbz being married to an OnlyFans prostitute like Aniza is a cuckold. Ralph agrees with him, but then very interestingly, he disagrees that this is a bad thing. So he takes this weird straddle where it's like, yeah, I can kind of see the logic of that, but who cares? And it's like, buddy, are you okay? Honestly, I think that if we ever really know the degeneracy that Ralph gets up to when the stream is off, like, we only see what we see, but I bet you he keeps a lot of shit under wraps. When Ralph was up there and the horse absconded and he was going to see Xander, he wanted to die. He was thinking of killing himself. And he told Dick Masterson this. So imagine how awkward this is for Dick. You have this fat retard sleeping on your couch. And Ralph was said that Marie and Dick were even arguing about him being there, apparently. Well, in earshot of him. You have this fat retard fucked up on pills and alcohol at your house, lounging there. And he's telling you that he wants to die. He wants to kill himself. And he had like this pity where it's like, if I kick him out, he might just kill himself. That would be a bad look. So put him in this really awkward position. And then he says, the only reason why I didn't kill myself is that I saw my son, Xander. Not Rosie, of course. Where the fuck Rosie? Nobody cares about Rosie. Xander, a handsome boy. And what really hurt him was that the day after, when Dick did his usual stream with Vito, he talked about how fucked up Ralph was. And he said, that really hurt my feelings. That my friend would go out there and say, what a drunk piece of shit I am, after I just told him I wanted to kill myself. And that was the straw that broke the pig's back, so to speak. And then that was that. That was the end of it. He says that he doesn't believe in spousal rape. He says that Mr. Vickers, he has information on Mr. Vickers that can destroy him and his emissaries, which is a weird word to use to describe the retards that suck up to Mr. Vickers. He brought me up apropos of nothing twice, actually, and Jesse never acknowledged this. So I guess I'm a forbidden word for Jesse to speak. He says that he hates me. I hate that fucker, but he still respects me for keeping the site up. And I said that Alice did suck his dick. So that was a really great blowjob. And then he says that rape is disgusting. It wasn't rape. And a girl has to really want it. A girl wanting the pig dick is what actually turns him on. So he doesn't like rape. Jesse and Ralph both agreed out of nowhere that Alex Stein should be killed. For whatever reason, I think that Jesse just I think Alex Stein got brought up. Jesse said that he should be fucking killed. And then Ralph was like, yeah, I don't know if I can co-sign that. Then he gets brought up again. Jesse reiterates that Alex Stein should die. And then Ralph was like, yeah, probably. Like something like that. So the Alex Stein question, there's no dispute. He's got to die, according to them. And then the big section that I skipped over, anal. In this 3-hour long call, at least 45 minutes of it is detailed to the absolute love that Ethan Ralph has for all things related to the asshole. He says that he loves to stick his thread, or his finger, in the asshole of women that he's fucking, because apparently, according to him, the butthole spasms of a female orgasm are undeniable. He knows for sure they're not faking it if the butthole starts spasming. So he likes to feel that directly. He also said he loves eating ass. And more importantly, he loves having his ass eaten. And he said that May, the horse, has sucked his asshole, and that gave him the most mind-blowing orgasm he's ever had in his entire life. And then, at some point, Jesse says a trigger word, and everything I just mentioned and more is repeated in full a second fucking time, as if he completely forgot that he just went over all of this. And by the end of this, what actually ends the conversation is that Ralph is off the topic of ass for once. Jesse says something, and then he starts talking about ass again, and Jesse's just like, bro, I gotta go. And then he hangs up the call. But Ralph was about getting ready for round 3, where he was about to gush over how much he loved asshole.